I might have unlocked a few remaining mysteries about the first play of Schutzen. So, just to recapitulate what the first Schutzen play is about. So I am the priest, I am waiting in Secunda Custodia, and my opponent is a scholar who is also in Secunda Custodia, and now he attacks me with a Schutzen. So he does a Schutzen, and he is closing in, and when he is close enough, he will turn it into a thrust and kill me. This is how I interpret the besieging with a Schutzen. So the scholar knows that I will most probably cut him from above, so he does his Schutzen that will cover him. So if I now strike, he is already covered. So he is covered from the most obvious strike that can come from me. And like this, he is closing in. He is preemptively covered, and if I let him close in, he will kill me. So this is the first image. The second image is about the priest who takes the same position. So the scholar has the Schutzen, and the priest takes this Schutzen position too. And now the priest says that he can do three things. He can strike from the left, or strike from the right, or do Durchtreten. About strike from the left or right, these are the mysterious strikes because we don't know what they are. They are not drawn, they are not described. The rest of the play is only about the Durchtreten. So we get in this position, I can do strike from the left or from the right, or Durchtreten. And Durchtreten, in my interpretation, is about throwing the opponent's sword away like this and striking into the space that was created. So this is the third image of the play. We started like this, and I do Durchtreten. And the fourth image tells us how to defend against the Durchtreten. So we are in this Schutzen position. I am throwing the opponent's sword away in order to do my Durchtreten, and as I am returning back, the opponent is returning back with the sword, taking the bind and pushing me down. And now my opponent is in binding above and on the left from his point of view, which is exactly the same position as after successful mutatio gladi. So the follow-up that is not the part of this play most probably will be a nuken between my hands. So these are the images of the play, and this is what the play is telling to us. Well, play tells us one more thing about the first strikes from the right and on the left, the mysterious strikes from the right and from the left. We know how we should defend against these strikes. It is not drawn in the images. There is only a description, and this description is very uninformative, but we can at least gather from there that if the opponent is doing strike from the right or left, which we don't know what it looks like, the defense should include me going with the sword down, because they are talking about having the sword under the arm. So I don't know if it would be like this or whatever, but it certainly will be the sword down. So the defense will include going with my sword down, and it should end by attacking the opponent's hands. So I know that if I am defending these strikes on the right or left, I should go with the sword down, and from there I should somehow attack hands of my opponent. So that is what we have. That is the basis of our thoughts. So this is what we have, and the question, the mystery remaining is, what are those strike from the right and strike from the left? Like the priest is taking this position, and he can do either Durchtreten or strike from the right or strike from the left. So the question is, what are these strikes from the right and from the left? And second question is how to defend against them. Because the play itself is concentrating on the Durchtreten and defense against Durchtreten, but it doesn't explain us what these strikes from the right and from the left are. So first I have two interesting observations. First is that the Durchtreten starts with like throwing the opponent's sword away, this impulse that throws his sword away, but then continues with a cut. And the cut can be any cut from above. You can do Durchtreten like this and cut from my left side, or like this and cut from my right side. And both of these are Durchtreten, because the point of Durchtreten is at the beginning and a cut. So the Durchtreten can also end with cut from the left and or from the right. The defense against Durchtreten is only one. And that is interesting, because Durchtreten can follow up with this cut or this cut, but every time the defender will react exactly the same. The reaction is, I throw his sword to the side, and he is returning with the sword, taking the bind, and then working from there. So even though Durchtreten can be done in a different way and can end in cuts from different sides, the defense is always the same. Now, what about the second observation? This is about the strikes from the right and from the left, the mystery strikes. Well, they seem to be sharing similar properties with the Durchtreten, because these are two possible strikes, but we have only one way how to defend against them. We don't understand what the defense is about, but it is, we can be certain that there is only one defense, and it will defend against both strike from the left or strike from the right. So these strike from the left or right are somehow similar. We can also expect, maybe these strikes are thrusts, but I expect that they are cuts. So in fact, a cut from the left or cut from the right is exactly the same thing as the end of Durchtreten. If I do Durchtreten, I can cut from the left or cut from the right. So strikes on the left or right, mystery strikes on left or right, and in fact in the same way as Durchtreten. So these two strikes are somehow similar, but they are different from Durchtreten because they require a different way of defense. And the way how they will differ, in my opinion, is in the beginning, before the strike happens. So the Durchtreten starts by throwing the opponent's sword to the side and then cut. And these strikes will start with something different and then cut. And the question is what this something different is. I propose that this action that precedes the strike, the mysterious strike from right or left, is a beating action that beats the opponent's sword away. So my opponent is in his Schutzen position. I am entering. This is the position of the second image of the play, but at this point I am in secunda custodia, and I am entering this position with a beat, like firm strike into the opponent's sword to clear the sword away. And if you beat the opponent's sword away, most often you want to immediately continue with an attack, because you have just cleared the sword from the way and you want to exploit the opening that is there. If I had long sword, I would most probably beat and then thrust. Because it can be done easily with long sword, because long sword can be easily stopped on spot and the cut can be turned into a thrust. because you have two hands on the hilt. With arming swords, this doesn't work so well, because arming swords tend to retain the momentum. They tend to continue what they started to do. So if I beat the opponent's sword away, my sword tends to continue in this way. So what I will most probably do is that I will compensate for the momentum, turn it into a cut, and hit the opponent. Now, this can be done maybe in more than one or two ways, but certainly in two ways. Two most common ways. I can beat the opponent's sword away and go like this, do this beat and cross cut, which will result in cutting the opponent from my left. And the second possibility is that I beat the opponent's sword to the side, return with a circle, and cut him from the same side. So it is like two cuts, one cut, second cut. Two cuts from the same side. These are the two most prominent options. And this second one will result in striking from the right. And I believe these are exactly the two strikes, the two mysterious strikes, one from the left and one from the right. They both start by clearing the opponent's sword away and hitting me, and the other one is like this. It means that if the opponent does our Schutzen siege at me, I can do two things. I can softly take the bind and then go for the Durchtreten, or I can firmly strike away the opponent's sword and go from the strike. This was from the left or from the right. So these are the two options. Now, how to defend against it? If the opponent is doing Durchtreten at me, I will defend by returning the sword back. So the opponent does a Durchtreten, only the Durchtreten. My sword goes to the side, and what should I do now is return back and take the bind. I can do it because Durchtreten does not use too much force to throw my sword away. It is just a short impulse that moves my sword, but not much more. So it is quite easy to compensate this power by this small circle and return back on time. But if the opponent beats my sword to the side, the power that goes there is much greater. He gives much more energy to my sword. And for me, it is very hard to return back on time because, well, there is too much momentum to compensate with this small move. And most probably, I won't be able to get back before the next strike hits me. So I can't do the same defense that I'm doing against Durchtreten. But what I can do is to compensate the momentum by going down with like a larger circle down under my arms, which is possible, like this. This is possible. It means that the opponent, when the opponent strikes, I don't have a sword to defend with, because my sword will be down. I will have to defend only with the shield. But it also means that my sword is getting to my left, and I will be able to attack the opponent from the left side, from his sword hand side, and hit the sword hand. Because if I would attack his hand from my right, I would hit the shield. But if I'm able to get on the other side, I can get the sword arm. So the defense that I propose would be like this. I am in my Schutzen, and now the opponent beats my sword away. I am doing my circle, and the opponent continues with a cut. I am blocking with my shield, and at the same time, I am striking his sword hand. So my defense is in fact sort of in-tempo attack. As the opponent does his second strike, I am going like this for his hand. Interesting thing is that if I was to do this action against Durchtreten, it probably wouldn't work, because the Durchtreten is not giving me enough momentum. So if the opponent does the Durchtreten, it moves my sword only a little bit. And if I were to go down here and strike the hand, it will be too slow, because I have to move all this by my own muscles. Because I don't have enough power at the beginning. But with the beat, it is possible. If I'm getting the beat, this is very fast, because I'm using the momentum that I received at the beginning. So I believe it's all coming together. There are two ways how to work from this double Schutzen contact. First way is to do Durchtreten, which is fast, which can be surprising, but does not throw the opponent's sword too much away. So it can be defended by just returning the sword back. Or you can have the second possible action, which are the mysterious strikes that start with a beat. So you go into beat. When you are beating your opponent's sword to the side, it is exactly the same position as is drawn in the second image of the play. So I'm again getting into this double Schutzen position, but only for a little while, because I am doing a beat. So the beat is the second option. I'm beating the opponent's sword away, and from there I am going for a cut from the left or from a cut from the right. These strikes throw the opponent's sword away with much more power. So for the opponent it is not easy to return back, but my action is slower, and in fact the fact that I have given the opponent so much power means that he can use it, and when I am returning back, he can use it to strike my sword hand. So I believe this interpretation fits pretty well the description. It also fits the described defense, because the defense is really about going down under the arm. We are somewhere down, so certainly we are under the arm, and attacking the bare hands, and seems to be working. So this is my take on these mysterious strikes and the defense against them.